Hi, my name's Erica Gamet, and this week I'm traveling in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, so I'm seeing greenery. This is not something I see at home in the desert where I live, but I thought I would do a slightly different video this week and talk about how I travel and the gear that I travel with. Because I do a lot of training and speaking, I have a lot of technology that I need to take with me, and now that I'm doing a lot of vlogging and other film work, I also have my camera and some of its gear as well, though I haven't traveled full on with a ton of gear yet, and so I'm going to have to change up how I travel with some of my gear. But I do like to travel light. That's something that I've been doing for a very long time in my personal life, and I've just made that sort of transfer over into what I use, or how I think about packing and traveling when it comes to my gear. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what gear I have, kind of how I organize it, sort of what's in my bag sort of thing. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I have. Because I am a trainer and I need to have my computer with me, obviously I have my laptop with me. So that's usually how I start. I start thinking from my laptop out, because basically if I forgot everything else when I go to do an event, if I have my laptop with me, I will probably be okay. So I want to make sure that I have that. So laptop. And I write this all down. I guess I should talk about how I kind of organize that. I do write it down. If you watch my previous video, productivity apps that I use, the joys of filming outside. We have a plane going over. Anyway, I write everything down in a notebook, and that's also how I pack. I also do have a packing app that I use, but I haven't used it in a while. Again, I like that tactile approach, write everything down. And when it comes to writing down, I will write down laptop. You think, of course you're going to remember that. But if I don't write it down, I might forget it. So laptop, and then the next thing I write down is laptop adapter. And again, you think, why would I have to write down adapter? Of course I need an adapter. But if I don't write it down, I may forget it. So obviously I've got my beat up old MacBook adapter. One thing I do is I have Velcro strips that I put on to kind of keep the cords in place. But also when you're going to a conference like I do, everybody I know has Macs. They all have the same looking adapter. I've got a bright orange piece of Velcro on it, so I know that that's mine. So MacBook adapter. The next thing probably would be my iPhone. I would like to say I never would forget my phone, because I use my phone, I live for my phone, but I have actually forgot my phone just going to the store, so I don't want to forget it when I go somewhere. It's my connection to the world again. So iPhone, and then iPhone adapter. I have gotten to the point where I'm only carrying the one USB adapter for the iPhone and the iPad. You can bring both, and that's actually something I usually think about, is how often will I be using both of those, and how quickly will I need to charge. So if I need both of those, I might bring an extra just the USB cable portion of it, and just keep the one brick that goes with it. So I carry that, iPhone adapter. And the next thing is the iPad, and this is actually not my iPad. My iPad met an untimely demise, and so I'm borrowing one from a friend so I can actually teach a class with about iPad. And so I have that, so I would normally have my iPad and possibly an iPad adapter with that. The next thing is, usually for me, is a hard drive. And I have this great little case. I bought it a long time ago, just sort of on a whim, and I'll pull it out. For me, because I have a lot of portable hard drives, a case for me is important. It keeps the dirt out, and it gives a little bit of rigidity, especially this one. So I've got this little portable, it's a Western Digital drive with the cord, but it also has this case, and it's a hard case. So it's hard, it's flexible, but it's got a little bit of rigidity to it, just to kind of give it some flexibility. This folds over, and then we've got a nice little case. I also use this if I'm not traveling with the extra hard drive, is I sometimes put little gadgets in there. So let me actually pull out one of those gadgets. My Adobe Ink and Slide, so my stylus and the magic slide ruler that they have, which I don't use very often, but I use my stylus a lot, and its adapter as well. So again, everything has an adapter. So I'll write down Ink and Slide, and then Ink and Slide adapter. So like I said, sometimes I put the Ink and Slide in this case as well, instead of a hard drive, if I'm not traveling with a hard drive. And then one thing that's super important to me, when I'm staying in hotels especially, is extra outlets, because there are never enough outlets in a hotel. I got this one, it's from Monster actually, and it's got 3 outlets. Hopefully you can see that. I'll do this. I've got 2 there and an extra outlet here, and it has 1 USB charger here. I have one that's bigger that has 4 outlets and 2 USB, But this one I like, it's a little more compact, and also the cable wraps around itself and plugs in and fits there. And what I do with stuff like this that is not essential but very helpful, I try not to weigh down my carry-on bag with too many gadgets. This will go in my suitcase. Because if I lost this, or if it got stolen or whatever, it wouldn't be detrimental. The one thing I won't put in there, obviously besides my electronics themselves, is the power for my laptop. Because if I have power for a laptop, I can also power my cell phone if I needed to. Even though this is the heaviest thing, usually next to my laptop, that goes in my bag. If you get stuck in an airport for 6 hours because something happened and you don't have power, that's going to really frustrate you, or at least it frustrates me. I have a lot of other little gadgets like my adapters for projectors, things like that. And I mentioned that I forgot something this time around. I have a nice little padded case that I keep things like my adapter or my ink and slide in, and I didn't bring it this time, totally forgot. I hadn't traveled in a while, made a rookie mistake. Oh yeah, and then my camera, because now I'm traveling with my camera, I have my camera bag, and because I'm new to photography and video, or at least new to carrying around all this gear all the time, I haven't quite figured out what I'm doing with everything yet. And if you're a photographer, you already know how you put your gear. You don't need me to tell you that. This is just the case that came with it. It's one I'm using right now, but I did throw in my adapter or my charger for my camera's battery, and then some miscellaneous cables and lens covers and all that great stuff. And when I get extra lenses someday, I will also put those in there. I also have just this little zip case, just an old Case Logic case I've had forever. But inside of it are these 4 little mesh pockets. And I have things like a USB drive. I have a couple of those. I have my memory cards for my camera, if I can get it out to show you. Just some little memory cards in there. And then also I have my memory card reader. That's just a USB reader. Just goes in so I can take my cards and offload them to my computer right away. My camera does have Wi-Fi, but I find that it's just takes more time to do, so I'm just going the old-fashioned route and sneaker netting it to my computer. So that's gone in there in my camera case as well. And then the last thing I want to show you is my bag. And my bag is really old. It's an old Eagle Creek bag, but they do have a newer version of it. I looked online, did a little shopping, but mine's still actually holding up. It's the great thing about Eagle Creek. They hold up. But the bag that I have has obviously, you know, nooks and crannies for all my little items. This is where everything went that normally goes in my padded case. So I have that there. I have a place for my headphones. If you travel on planes, you know you need those. I used to travel with my noise canceling headphones, and I just found they got to be too big and bulky, and I'm trying to just go a little more slimline when I'm traveling. So I just went back to the old earbuds, but I do have this little case from Griffin, and inside there is just places for a couple little sets of headphones. So I've got those in there. That goes in a little mesh pocket. So again, it's just got lots of nooks and crannies for things like iPad can go in this side one here. I've got gear pockets. I've got zip pockets. But the big seller for me, the thing that made me buy the most expensive backpack I've ever bought in my life, is the fact that this is what's called a butterfly bag, or TSA approved bag. So what I can do is I can grab my laptop, just currently sitting under all the gear I just put out. So I'll take my laptop, and it slides into obviously the padded case, nothing new there, but it zips completely open, and you can lay it flat on the conveyor belt, and you don't have to take your laptop out. Nothing else can be in here, so make sure you don't I tend to throw change in here, and nothing can be in there. So for me, that was the killer deal, is that I didn't have to take my laptop out. So I can have this bag just full of stuff, and then I open it up and just throw it on the conveyor belt, and it goes through it. They don't usually yell at me. So I put that all together in one backpack. So this time I had my backpack, and then I had my camera case just sort of slung over my shoulder. So I felt a little bit more like a pack mule than I'm used to. I did not bring a tripod with me because I'm staying with a friend, and they have a tripod. So normally I suppose I would probably throw that in my suitcase, and that would be one of those things where I would just think, well, if I lose it, I lose it. And that's kind of how I think. Like, how bad would it be, and where am I going, and is there an Apple store or photography store or something where I'm going to replenish if something happened to that. So again, how much do I want to carry versus how much am I willing to risk losing? So I hope that helps a little bit and just kind of shows you what I travel with. How do you guys travel? What do you guys carry? How much is too much, and how much, what can you not live without? There's certain things that I just can't go without when I travel, obviously, depending on what I'm doing. For me, I actually get stressed out if I don't have a lot more of my gear than I probably need. I once traveled with just my iPhone, not even an iPad, and I hardly know what to do with myself. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you travel with, or travel questions that you have. Travel is kind of my big thing. Might talk about that somewhere down the road. I actually lived as a nomad for a year, and I had to deal with all my technology. So I kind of still have that spirit of that when I go traveling. Yeah, so let me know. You can hit me up on social media as well. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Erica Gamet. I also have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/learnwitherica. And no matter where you contact me, if you use the hashtag LearnWithErica, it just makes it easier for me to find you. So I hope you like this. I'm going to be traveling a little bit more the rest of the week, and come back for some more great tutorials in the upcoming weeks. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.